Hi, I'm Michi, and welcome back to Daily Reflections. Last time we've been talking about the half life of knowledge, and today we're gonna start with the more personal topic, which is gonna be to reduce noise in your life. And I want to show you what I mean by that, and also how I did did it. All right. Um, when it comes to noise, there's some great stuff that has been done by Daniel Kahneman. He even wrote a book about it. Or you could think of the work done by Shane Parrish, who's talking about a lot about cutting through noise. Or if you think about noise, it could be the noise around you, like the traffic in a city or people talking. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. When it comes to noise, and for today's episode, we're going to talk about the kind of tiny little voices, not in your head, but surrounding you. So, what we're going to focus on is, for example, social media, media, but also notifications on your smartphone and stuff that is related to it. So when I'm talking about noise today, it's all those voices, all those sounds, all those triggers that try, or those people that try to capture your attention, but without you consciously opting into that, but really trying to grab you. All right. Yeah. How did that come along? I would have to dig deeper into the process. It probably went on for a couple of years now. And way back, I think the first time I realized that I'm distracted by all those noises was related to my smartphone. I'm a huge fan of smartphones. They're great enablers in our life. They open up so many possibilities, but also they distract us. We spend hours on that little thing every day. I think on average it ranges from 2, 3 up to more than 6 and 7 hours, and that's clearly, um, at least for me, too much. And once I realized that, you can activate on your phone the settings to see how much time you spend on your phone and what you spend it on. And once I've seen that, I um, dig- ingested that, I thought it's time for a change. That's already probably 3 years, was 3 years ago. And I decided to reduce it. So let's, start with the smartphone. What I did there is, first of all, a really, like from today's perspective, it looks like a really radical step, uh, but it wasn't like from one day to the other. It was really gradually turning off one signal by one. And today quite honestly, I don't get any notifications on my phone except for short messages, um, for phone calls, and obviously my calendar because I need that for work. But other than that, might it be, um, I don't know, any application I have, a YouTube application, or I when I had it before, like WhatsApp, Facebook, stuff like that, I all turn it off. And to tell you the number, on average, I get 19 notifications on my phone per day, compared to over 100, I think even over 200 per day as it was before. So now, compared to 3 years before, only a tenth of the time I am distracted by my phone without me making that decision. And Yeah, then also related to smartphone, I opted out of so many things. I don't use social media anymore. Really clean cut, no WhatsApp, no Facebook. I don't have Instagram. I obviously use YouTube, but I'm really conscious about when to use it and what to use it for. I know, and there are all those great new applications, those great new features like shorts, and they're super attention grabbing and they're firing your dopamine very drastically. But again, conscious decision, I'm not in for that. But then there are other areas as well. For example, I totally cut off from not only social media but also media consumption. Like before, as every other person, I was reading media on a daily basis, like newspaper. So in the morning or on my way to work, I was sitting there with the newspaper or on my phone and s- like skimming through the stuff, reading headlines, and it's fun. I understand it. It's pleasurable in the moment, but the real thing, we already have talked about the half life of knowledge, but and that's one thing to consider here. But also, it's distracting you, and especially from your thoughts, from your surroundings, from what's happening around you, and also distracting you from your feelings, from how you feel today. What do you observe on the subway? What do you observe when walking down the street and seeing other people? Because all those things, and that's media, like newspapers included, they grab your attention and they don't let you be in the moment. So, yeah, I cut that out as well. Um, and other noises I could think of. No, that's really it, I think. So we had social media, we had newspapers, we had notifications, we had all those funny different apps. By the way, I don't have any like games on my phone. No, I don't know, Candy Crush if you know that, or Farmville. Um, I don't like those mini games. They're also like super time consuming, and they don't bring any or get you any returns in the long run. It's just in the moment. It's really nice. It feels good, but even half an hour later, it doesn't matter anymore. And I mean, we spent usually hours every day on that stuff. And again, I get it, it's pleasurable, but in the long run, it just doesn't pay off. And that's something I realized for myself. And therefore, I said gradually reducing that kind of noise. And today, I can tell that I'm super happy about that like situation. I even went a step further. For example, I turned my phone into grayscale. Uh, you know, all those again our smartphone, but also advertisements. They're really heavily working with sounds, but also with colors, and those alerting colors usually try to grab your attention. And let me tell you something: a notification that used to be red, like a red button, or yeah, a red button that signals like, "Hey, you got a new message. You gotta check it out." But once that turns gray, it's it doesn't feel so interesting anymore. It's there, you can see it, um, but it doesn't like consume you that much. And also when it comes to like stuff like Instagram, pictures in grayscale are nice from time to time, but if everything is like grayed out, it's it's different, and you spend much less time on looking at that stuff because it's just not that funny. Same applies, by the way, for I forgot. I totally forgot one thing. I don't have a TV set. I don't have a TV, so I also don't have like Netflix. I don't use Google Movies or Google Play. know how you, or Disney Plus, or all that other stuff. Um, because here again, usually you spend hours every day and on those things, and it doesn't really pay off. So yeah, now the question is, how did it help me, and how what I what do I do with my time now? So first, obviously, I'm doing videos talking about that, but that's not the point. If you like look on how I spend my mornings now, I engage with my family, with my partner Saga. We talk in the morning. Might read a book. I mm, Also in the evening we spend our evenings together. We don't watch a movie together, but we talk. If we don't have the energy to talk, then we read. If we don't have the energy to do that, then we just go to bed and rest and have more energy in the morning. Um, yeah, maybe one concern that you have right now is, but if I don't read newspapers, if I don't consume social media to some extent, how do I stay up to date? How do I still connect with the people? And let me tell you something, even if you consciously opt out of all those different channels, um, first of all, you still can make the conscious decision to look into it, to get the information you want to stay up to date. But even if you don't do that, then this kind of information will reach you, whether you like it or not. Because if you are a social being, and I'd like to assume that, then you gotta talk to people. You be at school, at university, at work, and people come talk about that. And that makes it even more fun, because if now people talk about what they have read in the news, then if you do that as well, you might have a little conversation about it, or you're just nodding, yeah, I know already. But now you don't know, and you can ask questions and you can learn new things from those people. And that's actually much more fun, because you're now learning something. And you don't have, yeah, you have better conversations, obviously. And it, after all, I can tell, like, I'm like totally off for a year now in those areas, and it doesn't hurt my social life too much, to be honest. But at the same time, I've so much more time at hand to do other things that I really care about. And that's, as I said, learning, studying, connecting with other people, having great talks, really in depth talks. And yeah, this paid off for me. It's not that I recommend it to you that you should do it, that everybody should do it, because yeah, that's not gonna happen. Um, we have those things around, but what I want you to do is to consider it, to think about it, to consciously realize what all those different medias, channels, apps do with you, do with your attention. And it might be that you want to take the conscious decision to what I want to spend my time on, what material, what topics I want to think about. And that's really it. Just think about it, and don't let others make the decision on what you spend your time, your energy, and thoughts on. Yeah. Um, so, in a nutshell, as said, noise, reduce it. We talked about notifications, channels, medias. Um, it feels good for me. I'm happy about it. And I might share a more in depth, mm, yeah, more in depth insights about one or the other topic in another video. But that's it for today. And yeah, was a much more personal thing, and I'm already looking forward to next time. So that's it for today. I'm looking forward to your feedback, whether you like it or not, and have a great day. Thanks for watching. It's Michi. Goodbye.